Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's it's a nice day today. Hopefully, everybody didn't float away with all the rain that we had. Pretty amazing the last few days. Anyway, so the headline today: there's more listings. We got lower rates, and our sales slowing down. What the heck is going on with our market? We're going to go through that. We're going to talk about new construction. We're going to talk about REOs or foreclosures. Go through the metrics so you can make a really solid business decision. In the meantime, hang on, let's get to it. Okay, so a lot of folks have been asking, hey, George, what's going on with the market? It seems like, is it bad? Is it a bad market? And the answer is no. Actually, it's a spitting image of what it was last year, and last year was just a okay market. It's not as good as it was in 2019, but obviously we don't have the sales like we did in 2020, 2021, most of 2022, because we don't have the rates, the mortgage rates that were bought down. But one person, thank you very much, said, hey, you know what? I went back to a year ago, like you said, and watched your show and your predictions. And he's like, that's almost freakish how accurate you've been. I said, well, we've been doing this a little while. So again, tune in every single week. It's free. There's no marketing here. Ask your questions. And no, we're not going to hunt you down like rabid dogs. If you ask a question, we just want to make sure you get the right information. That's it. No strings attached. So when we talk about more listings and lower rates, the Northwest MLS put out their report on November 5th. Yes, you guys got it the week before, but here we go. So as we take a look at this, we're going to take a look at the key takeaways for 2025. Now, here they are. We have a 27% increase in listing activity. Again, that's not unexpected at all. We have been seeing that increase in listing activity because it's been so flipping low for so long that people are like, oh my gosh, we actually have inventory. Yeah, that's why builders are suffering with their pricing just a little bit. But anyway, let's keep going. It says active inventory actually decreased 6.3% from last month. Totally get that. The 6 counties with the highest year-over-year increase would be Thurston County, Snohomish County. We had Jefferson, Clallam County, Ferry, and then, of course, Okanagan. Most of those, in more of the rural outlying areas. Now, when we talk about closed sales, it says, hey, listen, man, closed sales actually decreased 4% year over year. Now, some of you are like, wait a second. Now, you said sales were about right on target. We are talking about, the month of October. And yes, the month of October did see less sales year over year. But hang on a second. Watch this. So as we come in, they actually increased, not by just shy of 1% over September, as we started seeing, some additional benefit of the rates. 16 out of the 27 counties saw a decrease in the number of closed sales year over year, while 10 saw an increase. All right. The counties that had the largest increase: Gig Harbor, Chelan, Kittitas, Grant, Clallam, and Douglas. Now, when we take it to the next step, let's talk about pricing. So the median price for residential homes and condos in October was $640,000, or about a 1.5% decrease. And when we take a look at that, that is year over year for the month of October. Compared to the previous month, however, which would be September, the median price actually increased by 1.5%. The 3 counties with the highest median sale price: King County, San Juan County, and Snohomish County. And of course, the 3 with the lowest sales price: Ferry, Columbia, and Pacific. Not unexpected. Those are definitely more rural areas. Your key counties, which have the greatest population, also seem to sway the elections depending on where you're at. Those 3 actually had really good numbers. And again, we're not making any land speed records, but we're moving forward. And so in other words, what they're saying is, and as we take a look at, the 7-day running average for the Northwest MLS, is that, hey, we're selling less. Prices are still heading upward, not massive double digits. We're about 1.5%, 2%, as we take a look each month. And it is actually just giving us that steady upward trend. Now, Mark Stiles did a great report in the Puget Sound Business Journal where he was talking about a very revered metric. We happen to be number 2 as far as the most desirable and to keep an eyeball on cities out there. We're at 22. I think last month we were at 24. I think in 2022, I think we were like number 54. And in 2018, we were like number 1. So we're creeping back up. We're still, as far as markets go, we're still in the top 10, definitely in the top 5 as far as economically sound, even though we had a little bit of layoff turmoil. We only had, I think, 2,300 in this area. But nonetheless, that still makes the news. And again, I still say that's part of their normal 3-year cycle. All right, just moving on. So if we take a look at just the headlines of what's going on, look at here. We got mortgage rates holding steady near recent highs. If you go to the right, you see it's red. It's a little bit higher. It was at 6.19. Now it's at 6.32. When the Feds did their rate bobble, they actually dropped it. Our rates actually started heading in an upward trend. Mortgage applications responded to that, but we are seeing some challenges with that. Now, bottom left, that's our home maintenance checklist, right? So what's important about the home maintenance checklist? Hey, listen, guys, if you haven't swapped out your batteries and your smoke detectors, look, use today to do that, okay? Go swap them out. You don't want the 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning when the barometric pressure drops and the batteries get down to a level where they chirp, and then of course it drives you ape all night. Just go swap them out now. You should do it if you like your family. If you don't like your family, don't swap out the batteries. Just kidding. With that, now's the time. Clean out your gutters. If you don't have somebody to clean out your gutters, bpcontractors.com, go to the site. We'll put the link down below. Get your gutters cleaned out before they fill up with water and ice and snow and all the other detritus that you do not want flooding and backing up into your roof and rotting your roof, because that's what happens. The other thing is, if you need a chimney sweep, let us know. If you need somebody to demoss your roof, let us know. More importantly, it's also the best time to start getting your furnace serviced. Go ahead, swap out your filters, make sure all of the burners are working well, make sure you don't have a cracked heat exchanger, because carbon monoxide, the silent killer, it takes a few hundred people every single year. Don't be one of those people. Just saying. We kind of like you guys. But anyway, so let's move on here. So the Fannie Mae 7-day running average, take a look at this. We've got still rates from last week, which are really motoring along. That's why we held this one here. You can see we were down 0.5 point. Last week, that actually went up to 6.3. But when we take a look at this, when we talk about MBA stands for Mortgage Brokers Association, you can see how our numbers actually are doing really quite well. We did better than we did as far as applications in 2025 than we did in 2024. Obviously, 2023, where you see the far left, where you see that absolute drop, that's when we went from really great rates to horrible rates. Anyway, there you go. All right, so Northwest MLS running 7-day average. We talk about market time. Here's a wiener. So for the month of November so far, we're actually up 15 days from where we were at last year. It's the center chart there at 54 days. That's going to pose a little bit of a hiccup. That's also why we're seeing a lot of price reductions, which, as you can see, is 705 with that big, beautiful arrow. But look at this. 686 homes came on market the last 7 days. 927 went off, meaning went pended. So we are still seeing more homes coming off market that's coming on. We were at about, we were bonk, bonk right up next to the 4 months of inventory, one of the highest inventory levels we've seen in the last 5 years. And now that's been coming back down again. We're about 3.5 months, seasonally normal. We're not seeing anything absolutely crazy going on. And just keep that in mind as you're taking a look at, hey, is now a good time? The answer is yes. Absolutely. Rates are down. They'll stay down through this quarter. We're going to see them stay down probably through January. We might, if the feds do not drop rate. Remember, the feds have no control over mortgage rates. They control your car loans, your credit cards, your HELOCs, or a home equity line of credit, what banks lend to every day. That is what the Fed, that's a short term. That's what the feds control. Long-term rates are based on your bonds, mortgage-backed securities, things like that. Monitor your 10-year treasury. That will give you a trend. No, they're not tied to each other, but they freakishly follow each other. Just saying. All right. So as we roll on here, let's talk about the metrics for the Northwest MLS. Now, as you can see from the center chart here, actually, let me blow this back up again. Bottom chart here, you can see that our pendeds are up 13.7%, but our solds for the month of November so far, they're lagging at almost 15%, and including new inventory coming on is lagging. Year to date, look, we're just a little over zero as far as being flat. As far as number of solds and number of actives, 0.3%. That tells us that, hey, we're still heading in a positive direction, but we're just not making any land speed records. When we take a look at what we're doing price-wise, here's what they're saying. Looky here. So we're at 1.4% just for the month of November, more than where we were at this time last year. And we're 1.1% year to date. And that's super important to understand, because as we take a look at pricing, as we watch market time start to extend a little bit, not unnormal, seasonally normal, but we're still seeing pricing heading above where we were at this point last year. Now, that doesn't mean that we're making, again, any land speed records. This just means that we're holding our own, and we're just very flat, or maybe 0.5%, 1/4% on the old treadmill, which most of you are going to get on. That glorified clothes hanger, I'm sure you're going to get on for the holidays. Everybody does, and get some down a few pounds before they head out to eat more turkey. Anyway, with that, hold on a second. Let's get the show on the road. If I get myself out of the way, we can see that our pricing has been heading up. You can see that on the left circle and the right circle, seasonally normal. New construction, let's take a look at this. New construction, well, they've been kind of struggling just a little bit, just a little bit, right? When we take a look at the chart down below, for the month of November, and yeah, it's still early, right? They're almost 29% below. That's basically about 40 homes from where they should be. When we take a look at the upper chart, you can see that I have slowing. Slowing meaning that, hey, listen, we have been pulling back on, with new construction, because there's a lot of alternatives out there as far as resales that people are gravitating to. They're cheaper, better locations, better lots, things like that. And they've been pulling back. Now, have we seen much of a slowdown with the reduction in force, if you want to call it as such, with a lot of companies out there, all the media sensation with layoffs and whatnot? Funny enough, you look at the numbers over the last 4 weeks and you take a look at this last week's, there's no difference. Things are doing and numbers are still happening like they always have. I am sure that there is a nominal amount of emotional pullback on some folks. The funny thing is, business as usual in a lot of different ways. Again, we're not making any land speed records, but we are still doing exactly where we were at last year. Slowed down just an inkling because we're at 1% more on sales. Now we're at 0.3, but that's a small number as we continue to move forward. All right. Now, if we take a look at right here, we take a look at pricing, new construction pricing, sales are up 5.6%. just for the month of November, and up 3.3% year over year. Now, interestingly enough, you can see that our pricing up above, has been doing super well. And that, again, is situation normal. When we talk about bank-owned homes, here we go. We still have 127 homes. We had a couple come on, had a couple go off. So it's a what we call neutral. It's only 23 home difference for our 22.1% increase in inventory, which at the end of the day is actually a little bit less because a few of those homes, well, they're not bank-owned homes. They were just agents that put the information in wrong. So with that, Everything else, super tiny numbers, super tiny numbers. Again, there was an individual reached out to me and said, George, I want bank-owned homes because those are a great deal. I can get them 25, 30% off market. No, you can't. You might in some other state that's got an issue, but not us. We don't have enough inventory for that. Banks are getting absolutely at or above asking price. Market times for foreclosures have actually come down because they tend to be in a lot more of the what we call the first-time buyer affordable range. So if you have any questions, put them down below. Smash that subscribe button. Tell us that you like it. In the meantime, have an absolutely beautiful weekend. It's incredible out there. And I will see you guys on the next video. Take care.